Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 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 My Little Pony. I know, right? I mean, I usually talk about politics and religion and philosophy, stuff like that on my channel, and now I'm talking about a cartoon series that's marketed towards 13-year-old girls, and I'm slightly in a state of disbelief that I'm making this video, but this is what's happening right now, so deal with it, or don't. Now, my titles are always intentionally meant to mislead the viewer. I get a kick out of that. I get a kick out of people clicking on my videos, pissed off and offended by the title, and then taking them on a little Shyamalan twist where the video goes in a complete different direction than what they thought it was going to go in. And that's what I'm going to do with this one, basically. So I know right now there's probably a bunch of bronies watching this video and going, oh, this guy's a macho, insecure dumbass. And I'm not. I'm not going to take this anywhere near the direction that you think it's going to go in. Strap in, stay put, and here we go. So I've been banging this one chick lately, and she told me that her roommate is a brony. And I had never heard that term before, and I said, what the fuck is a brony? And she said it's a guy who watches My Little Pony. Fascinating. I love people. I mean, like, I thought the furry thing was interesting. I was fascinated with it when I first found out about furries. And this is just even cooler and weirder. So when I got home, the very first thing I had to do was look this up. I went to Urban Dictionary, and I want to read you guys this definition of what a brony is, okay? A brony typically refers to a 13 to 30-year-old male fan of the 2010 reboot of the show My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, but may also include females. See fillies, whatever. Brony equals bro plus pony. Yeah, I get that. While generally associated with a negative stereotype by outsiders due to its former 80s frilly girly girl twinkle-toed tea parties and all-female main casting, bronies are attracted to the new show by its good animation, acting, writing, and humor. Having once been on the outside, bronies can love and tolerate others until they themselves become bronies. However, haters gonna hate, most likely due to the fact that they have a masculinity inferiority complex where they believe that if they watched My Little Pony, others like them will label them as an effeminate freak. And then the author of this definition goes through all the stages of what a brony goes through in their progression of becoming a brony, and I'll spare you all that because there's like 10 of them. But then it says, here's what a remark that a hater would say, and the hater remark is, you guys are all gay freaks, I'll never watch that. Now if you'll excuse me, I need to jerk off while lifting weights and playing video games all day to pretend to be a man. So, there are like 10 definitions on Urban Dictionary for the word brony, which means this is a robust social trend. This is like a real established thing that's going on in America, and I love it. I fucking love that. Not to be left out, I went and I watched the first 3 episodes of season 1 of My Little Pony on YouTube. Yes, I did. That really happened. Picture it. You know, those of you who have been in my audience for a long time, just sit there for a minute and picture me sitting around watching My Little Pony, because that happened. I gotta say, My Little Pony is gay. It sucks. The writing is not phenomenal. The writing is jejune and stupid and fucking puerile. And it's kind of a waste of time show. Fluttershy is kind of cute, I'll admit, and I like that little dragon guy, Spike or whatever. But the show is fucking stupid. I'll get into the reasons why. First off, when I was watching this cartoon, I made sure to look at the comments section so I could do a little sociological expedition into the world of bronies. And it seems to me that the typical brony, while some of these guys are, well into their 30s, the typical brony is a teenage adolescent male. That they tend to average about 15 years old. And I gotta say, I find this tremendously encouraging in one sense. I mean, I think it's awesome that essentially there's a grassroots feminist movement among teenage boys. Because that's really what this is. If you remove the My Little Pony aspect and look at it for what it really is, it's feminism. That's what it is. These teenage boys are saying, I'm not afraid to show my feminine side. I'm not insecure. I'm not a macho dumbass that has to posture for the world and have something to prove. Although they're blithely ignoring the irony of the fact that, by walking around wearing a My Little Pony t-shirt and making fun of guys that enjoy lifting weights and playing video games, you still have something to prove, and you're still posturing and kind of doing the male peacock blustering behavior that we're known for. So, good job ignoring that irony. But hey, it's 15-year-old kids that we're talking about. I mean, I'm not expecting the world here. And like I said, I do find it tremendously encouraging. I mean, I think it's awesome. I think it's fucking sweet that high school age guys are becoming feminist like that. I do think that's really cool. But I have a lot of problems with the feminist movement, and I have a lot of problems with My Little Pony. I can't believe I'm making this fucking video. Oh man, this is really happening. Okay, so my main quibble with the feminist movement, and I think I've talked about this before, is that it mainly is, not to sound like an angry white male Limbaugh fan, but it really is identity politics. That's what it is. And the issues that they focus on piss me off. It's where the feminist movement chooses to place its focus that bothers me, because women in America are more likely to die during childbirth than in any other industrialized nation on earth. And you would think that as a feminist, it's stuff like that you would put your focus on, right? Like, why don't you ever hear feminists talking about healthcare reform? Never. No. What are they focused on? They're focused on the portrayal of women in the media, movies, and how porn is exploitation. You know, these stupid fucking egocentric moral issues that are every bit as dumb as the issues that the Christian right are always getting up in arms about. And that's my main problem with the feminist movement. It's really just sexism turned around. That's all it is. It's really just misandry, if you want to get right down to it. Misandry being the opposite of misogyny. For those who don't know, that's when you hate men. And that's my complaint. Now let me talk about My Little Pony. So I watched the first 3 episodes of this show, and right away what I noticed is that the cartoon does perpetuate stereotypes, and it does reinforce the traditional gender roles that we're all kind of socially programmed into from a young age through childhood, which is lame. I mean, like in the season 1, episode 3, Twilight Sparkle, or whatever the main character is, gets like 2 tickets to the Grand Galloping Gala, and I can't believe I'm fucking making this video still. I'm kind of in a state of shock. And she has to like decide who to give the extra ticket to, and she can't pick, and everybody's doing her favors. And then at the end she decides like, oh, I'm not going to bring anybody because if all my friends can't go, then I don't want to go. and they all hug her, and one of the few male characters in the show, which is Spike the Dragon, goes, which I strongly identified with. I mean, I was like, yeah, right there, bro fist, man. And which, what's the name here? Apple Cinnamon or whatever, the horse with the cowboy hat, comes up and she says, well, isn't that just like a boy? You can't even handle a little bit of sentimentality. Or a little bit of, hey, you know what, ladies? You know what, bitches? Here comes the misogyny. I'm going to bring it out a little bit. You know what, sluts? You want to know why men can't fucking handle sentimentality? Because you don't want us to. That's the reason why. That's why we act like swaggering macho dumbasses who are afraid to show their feelings. Because you only are interested in a warrior, right? You guys only are attracted to men that are all stalwart and fucking unemotional. So don't turn that shit back around on us and say like, oh, you guys are emotionless robots. You know, it actually kind of sucks going through life and never being able to show emotion without people going, fag! But guess what? You guys are just as responsible for that as we are, for that gender role that we have to fit in with. So save that fucking criticism for somebody who cares. Anyway, but that's not my main criticism of the show. And here comes my main criticism of the show. My main criticism of the show is that there still has to be an antagonist who we don't bother to try to understand, and we have a lot of moral certainty about. And I hate moral certainty more than I hate anything else about human nature. That is my biggest complaint about my species, is moral certainty. There always has to be a protagonist and an antagonist to move a plot forward. Otherwise, people find the story boring. And that really tells you something about human nature, doesn't it? Doesn't it really tell you about human nature that we can't stay interested? That we can't stay interested in a story. A story will lose our attention unless there's a bad guy who's excluded and condemned without question, right? And that really is true. Think about any story you've ever fucking heard. Lord of the Rings, Star Wars, the Bible, whatever the fuck the case may be. There's always got to be a bad guy, right? And we don't try to understand the bad guy's motivations. We don't try to sympathize with the bad guy. We condemn the fucking bad guy. Now in My Little Pony, the bad guy is a character called Nightmare Moon. Because the mythos of this cartoon, like there were two unicorns and one like raised the sun and the other one raised the moon, and one controls night and one controls day, and the one that controls night got jealous and felt underappreciated or exiled or whatever because all the ponies were awake at night or awake during the day and asleep at night. So she turned evil, and now she's like the bad guy and whatever. And you know, I fucking hate the stereotype that men are all about conflict and violence, and women are all about compassion and understanding and shit like that, because it's such bullshit. I mean, anybody who's fucking been through high school ought to know that. Anybody who's ever seen a clique of mean bitches ought to fucking understand that's not the case. I mean, you know, men are dumb, violent animals, I'll admit that, but that's kind of better in a way. I mean, when a man has a problem with you know, he'll kick your ass, and it's like two dumb fucking silverback gorillas knocking each other around, and then they bro fist each other and go out and have a fucking beer, and it's over and done with, and we can be friends, we can squash a fucking beef. When a woman has a problem with another woman, she steals her boyfriend, starts rumors about her and ruins her reputation, and basically attempts nothing less than to destroy her life and get her to fucking slit her wrists in the bathtub. Women are psycho, evil bitches. Machiavellian fucking cunts. And yeah, wow, this video is turning very misogynistic. So maybe I am really the swaggering dumbass guy that I claimed not to be at the beginning, but fuck it, I don't care. But you know, the point is, this cartoon does a great job illustrating the evil of women. Because we all know what the evil of men is. The evil of men is fucking obvious. I mean, war, you don't have to look too far to find what's wrong with men, but the evil of women is kind of hidden. It's a little bit more difficult to see. And this show does a great job of fucking... And why am I using absolutist terms like evil when that's exactly what I have a problem with is moral certainty and absolutist thinking? Well, because it's written right into our language and I can't even fucking communicate ideas without using these kind of absolutist terms, which has always fucking pissed me off. But hey, I mean, it's the same thing with religion. The terms of religion are built right into the language, which is why, I often say things like "thank God," and people say, "Hey, aren't you an atheist?" "Yeah, I am an atheist." "Well, then why did you just thank God?" "Because it's a fucking expression, and I'm trying to communicate. God damn it!" And there we are again. So my main problem with this cartoon is that, friendship is magic and all that, and like they use like the spirit of compassion to fucking banish somebody. It's like they all have these magical powers and they mix them together and do like a Captain Planet Care Bear stare type thing and like kick the bad guy's ass and banish her back into the moon or whatever. They actually use the spirit of kindness to banish somebody, which like you gotta love the irony of that. Let me banish you and kick your ass with the spirit of kindness. Wow, moral wisdom right there from that cartoon. And it's like, I'm watching it thinking like, why doesn't Fluttershy speak up? I mean, she's supposed to be the one that's all compassionate and merciful and everything. Why is she just sitting there while they like basically lynch somebody? So that's my criticism of the cartoon, and what I want to say to the bronies out there, and this is addressed to all bronies, the right from 15 years old to 30 years old, is that as one male to another, and I feel that I'm an enlightened male and not a swaggering macho idiot, even though some people disagree, as one male to another, I give you guys permission to stop watching this crap. The writing really isn't that good. The show fucking sucks. And what I really want to make clear to you guys is that women are not better than us. They're really not. I know you think they are. I know they seem more compassionate. They seem more understanding. They seem like wiser people. But they're really not. They're every bit as fucking stupid, every bit as cruel, and every bit as inclined towards exclusionary behavior and just bullshit as we are. So not to mention the fact the cartoon really just is gay. I mean, it's gay. Gotta say it. So this has been my video about My Little Pony. Yeah, this really just happened. If you enjoyed it, then download it, re-upload it, mirror it, parody it, make it your own, because the bronies at Google cannot censor me unless you let them. Keep it smooth.